for the first time this morning, but I met her through Anita. Anita and I have been friends for years, and she has started singing. She is a singer-songwriter, and she's learning and honing her craft through Emma. So I thought Emma would be a fun person to bring to the club.
I try to be fun.
You are.
You don't know me yet, but we'll get there, So good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday? Thursday. Okay, yeah, I'm still jet lagged. I was in New Zealand for a week last week, so wonderful to be here. I'm super pumped to kind of learn more about Rotary Club. Anita's been telling me a lot about your interactions with her, Katie, and I've been something that's been on my periphery for about a decade, since I moved to the States from New Zealand, which is why I was there last week. Don't just usually casually hop on a plane for 23 hours. I've been thinking a lot about how I wanted to present today. Kate and I talked a lot about the different components to what I do and to, how I show up for the world. And I know for some people I'm a little bit overwhelming in energy and in all the things that I do. So let me break it down for you really quickly. I am a singer-songwriter predominantly, have been for the past 25 years. I'm also a vocal coach, have been for the last 20 years. And I am more recently an empowerment through songwriting coach, where I help people overcome and self-actualize struggles when it comes to finding out more about who they are, communicating more effectively about who they are, and expressing that through the art of songwriting. My predominant audience is teenagers, but I joke that Anita is my oldest teenager at a tender age of 66. Oh, you did? Oh my gosh, yeah. You're still 62 in my eyes. But my whole thing, again, is just about making sure that people have the tools to healthfully understand themselves, identify, overcome, and express their trauma using language and songwriting, because we all know that songwriting has music in general has a profound effect on our brains and on our bodies and on our hearts and souls. And I'm a very big believer in holistic coaching, making sure that we take care of our emotional, mental, social, spiritual, and physical selves, and singing is one of those things that really helps. Now, why do I do this? Great question. So I was born with a relatively rare brain condition called hydrocephalus at the age of 4 months. You familiar?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is anybody else familiar or unfamiliar? You're shaking your head. Okay, cool. So our brains float in water. This is called cerebral spinal fluid. That water changes by about 400 to 600 milliliters every single day. But for some people, like myself, I have a cyst in the middle of my cranium, which means that water can get into my head through the ventricles, but it has no way of exiting down our spinal column. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So what happened was, as I was getting my check-ins as a baby, my doctors realized that my head was growing disproportionately faster than the rest of my body. Had my first CT scan, and hello, pillow of water the size of my fist in the middle of my head. This meant that by the time I was 12 years old, I'd had 10 brain surgeries and 24 surgeries in total. I do not take this for granted, but at the same time, I also have to recognize that I am incredibly blessed to have been born in a generation where the technology was existent, but also that my doctors, my mother, the community around me really worked tirelessly to make sure that I could be as highly functioning as I now am today. And to the credit of music, I recognized at a very early age that songwriting was the thing that helped me connect with my audience, connect with my friends, connect with my teachers, express my emotions more effectively with my parents, because it's hard being a teenager, being a young person, trying to communicate and express ourselves, let alone a teenager who'd had brain surgery and all the ramifications of that. And of course, that's in addition to being the token brown girl at my school, or in the heavy metal band that I was in for 5.5 years, being, you know, the young precocious woman that I was at a very young age, and all the not so fun ramifications that come with being a woman of color and a woman in general when it comes to growing up. Unfortunately, we all know that 1 in 4 women are sexually assaulted, and 1 in 12 men are also. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I've maybe hopefully spared a couple of others, because I've had more than one occasion where that's been the case for me. I speak very candidly about this. I apologize in advance. But you know, for me, songwriting has been the way that I've been able to help myself overcome those traumas, but more importantly, hopefully empower other people to recognize that they are not alone in their struggles and in their traumas, and that maybe they too can pick up the pen and write their own narratives or rewrite their own narratives when it comes to overcoming trauma. So as I was meditating yesterday on what I was going to talk about today, I wanted to share some of the songs that I've written with you guys, and sort of how they have shaped the lessons that I've learned, and how that has hopefully helped me become a healthier human being. And maybe it might, you know, resonate with some of y'all, and you can go forth and recognize that you also have a pen to rewrite your narrative. And of course, if you don't know how to, that's when my book comes in. Shameless plug. But this is a new book that I just came out on the 27th of July. Anita was a huge part, believe it or not, she doesn't even realize, in helping me to put that book together. It is part neuroscience, part storytelling, part interactive workbook, and then of course just a whole bunch of fun information that I hope resonates with people. So without further ado, I thought I'd start off with a little mantra, if I will, otherwise known as a clapback against every single hater that I ever had as a child, because when you're 10 years old and going through brain surgery, it's likely that you will, thank you, Joanne, come across schoolmates who will not just not recognize or understand what you're going through, but also write you wonderful letters calling you Frankenstein. And I don't want to be a Frankenstein, so I decided at the tender age of 32 that I would finally clap back against them. This was a few years ago. I'm older than that now. But this is my clap back against everybody who did call me Frankenstein, to kind of realize that your words are yours, my words are mine. You don't get to tell my story for me. And if you're asleep right now, you may wake up a little bit, because I'm not the quietest person. Looking in the mirror, it's funny how I take lessons from the pain, trying to find a meaning in everything I know. I can't fight against the rain. Goodness knows I try not to go against the rain, but I will never ask permission to get out of my way, 'cause every tear holds a key. There's grit in my spring. I'll be the hell and back. No, you ain't won't blame me. Any stories of match, maybe trauma of hell. I've been the hell and back. You can miss me with that. It's funny how you try to put limits on my soul, turning bullshit into a garden. We're all the same, I know. We all fear what we don't know. And goodness knows I try not to go against grain, but I won't ever ask permission to get out of my way, 'cause every tear holds a key. There's grit in my spring. I've been to hell and back. No, you hate won't play me. Every scar is a badge, maybe trauma of hell. I've been to hell and back. You can miss me with that. So you see, it's sick when I say survive. Well, I take another hit and I'm still alive. I may not be the norm, but gonna need your damn permission. Miss me with that, 'cause every tear holds a key. That spring must spring. Yeah, I've been to hell and back, no, your hate won't claim me. Every scar is a badge, maybe trauma I've had. Yeah, I've been to hell and back, you can miss me with that. Thank you. That was a little bit aggressive, but I'll take beautiful. Thank you. You look like you have a question.
No,
No?
I'm just processing it.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
So I write a little bit too.
Okay.
Do you start with your lyrics and then apply the melody? Or
This
are
is-
you, I get my chords out and then try to find a melody?
This is the ongoing debate that Anita and I have on a regular basis.
Chicken or
It
egg?
depends on my mood. It depends on what hits me first. That particular song was actually inspired by a Trevor Noah short that I saw on Instagram, where he was clapping back against all the racism that he'd endured, both in Africa as well as here in the States. And he kept saying, miss me with that, miss me with that. So I took that phrase, miss me with that, and that's where the lyrics came from. And then the melody kind of came from there. Sometimes it starts with a piece of, chord progression. Sometimes it starts with, a melody in my head. Often both the melody and the lyrics come together, but it just depends on my mood. What I've found often lately happens most easily for me is giving myself, almost forcing myself really, to step back and meditate, whether that's walking in nature or actually sitting down in my studio and meditating, and allowing myself to kind of just reflect. And the reason why that kind of works for me, there's a saying that to pray is to talk to God, to meditate is to listen to that conversation. For me, songwriting is the manifestation of that conversation. So it just depends on, again, how I'm feeling. Yeah.
So what's your method?
I usually like to write the words first, melody second, and then find the chords behind it. But sometimes, like you said, sometimes I just come up with a chord progression and go, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And I gotta fit something to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. We experiment.
Yeah.
So, speaking of community and how instrumental, pun intended, my community has been when it comes to my healing. I also wrote a song called Together We Rise. This was a song that I was actually commissioned to write for a multi-million-dollar company here in the DMV. And this came to me from chords first at a piano in Barcelona back in 2018. So again, it just depends on how things are going. Anyways, for the song, I was actually also blessed to sing this at it wasn't 2018, it was 2017. Because I sang this at the 4th of July parade in DC, right outside the White House in 2018. And I felt kind of ironic. Have I done enough? Do I make it up? No, I've dreamt about this for so long. Am I good enough to carry on an empty page? But darling, rain. Though I know it's what I need to do, can I bear my soul and live my truth? I've been lying and lying. The computer's turned off. You may want to turn it back on. Nope, password. Okay. I'm here with this story of mine. I feel it beating in my heart, walking through my veins. Magic of fear, starting to rise again, breaking the walls we built in our minds. The magic of love, together we rise. Together we rise. reality recorded in song. That's, you know, it's for me, one of the things that music is especially powerful for is that whenever we listen to a song, it has the power to take us back to a certain occasion, a certain memory, a certain lesson learned. And I was sick to death of having the narrative of somebody else's perspective be my reminder about my life. So for me, writing my own music helps me to record those memories, rewrite those narratives, and hold on to the lessons that I've developed over the years in my 37 years of existence this coming Saturday. So I also do a lot of speaking in professional environments at, you know, retreats and professional development areas. And this next song is kind of the one that generally resonates with people the most, because obviously, you know, collectively we are powerful, but we are only the sum of our parts. And so for me, recognizing that every single one of you in this room, for example, has the ability to make or break the atmosphere and the environment that we're in. Therefore, we want to make sure that the energy we're bringing to any situation is one of positivity, empowerment, and strength. So I wrote this next song called I Am, because I want to encourage everybody who hears it to recognize that the words I am are actually the most powerful words that we can say to ourselves, because anything and everything that we say after those two words literally dictates the narrative of our reality. For example, if you say that I can't do this or I am worthless, you're probably right. On the contrary, if you say I got this, I am strong, I am powerful, I am magical beyond recognition, again, you're probably right. So, on that note, I want you to close your eyes, please. Think about your own I am affirmation. Think about it. Are you thinking? Okay? And I want you to hold on to that I am statement. It's going to come in handy. I'm a story to tell myself. You think I was talking about someone else, but I drive myself crazy with every line. I need to remind me that I'm enough just being alive, 'cause I am a fighter, survivor, made it through the darkest weather, lover, forgiver, strong enough to make me better, and I'm a testament to the truth, and I'm enough to make it through. The shadows dance around my soul. I write the music of self-control, but I drive myself crazy with every doubt. I need to remind me what it means to love myself, 'cause I am a fighter, survivor, made it through the darkest weather, lover, forgiver, strong enough to make me better, and I'm a testament to my truth, and I'm enough to make it through. I'm writing the script inside my head. I'm the love that I want to get. I'm a light of compassion and truth. I'm winning the war and breaking the rules. Holding strength close to my heart. I'm giving my all, I'm making my mark. I'm enough by simply being me. I am a fighter, survivor, made it through the darkest weather, lover, forgiver, strong enough to make me better, and I'm a testament to my truth. And I'm enough to make it through. Okay, so this is your turn, guys. Turn before we eat breakfast. I want you to think about your I am affirmation, okay? Have you got it? You guys are very quiet today. Come on. Have you got it? Yeah? Okay, so on 3, I want you to say who you are. Okay? 1, 2, 3. I am powerful. Okay. So I used to work with drag queens. I used to work at drag queens back in the day. I was the token non-drag queen, and one of the drag queens would often say, when it comes to audience participation, when they were quiet, is that they could fart louder than that. Now I'm a lady, so I don't fart, obviously, but I feel like I'm gonna just embody that energy right now. So shall we try that again? Maybe. Okay. I am a
Winner. Powerful.
Okay, all together. 1. I am
Seeker.
I am.
Powerful.
I am.
Love.
Okay. Have a great breakfast, friends. Any questions before I order my food, I guess? Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you.
You go out and play in public?
I do. So I perform quite a lot, although my focus for 2026, thank you, is more on the coaching side of things. Simply, I mean, I do a lot of corporate events and like speaking and singing. I don't like drunk people, so I've kind of stepped away from a lot of that side of things, and I'm focusing more on like playing venues that I actually enjoy. One of my biggest philosophies in life, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and there's a lot of hell no places and energies I just don't want to surround myself with at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do. I perform at a steakhouse regularly in Georgetown. And there's also an Irish place that I play at in Chevy Chase. The energy is just really nice, but it just depends on the week and depends on. Yeah, but you can check out my website, and my gig listings are all on my music tab.
Cool.
Yeah. Any other questions? Comments? Insults?
Please order breakfast, it's on us.
Okay.
I would love it.